Welcome to Rhythm Night, guys.
Welcome! Rhythm Night is a lot like this background behind us.
Nope.
Not at all.
It's way better than the background. You're here!
You're right, you are here, and it's a very good month to be here because we're talking about some really good things. Are you ready?
Yep. Dating.
Dating.
Relationships.
Relationships.
And sex.
She said sex.
You're always the immature one. But seriously, we all have relationships, and we wanted to really bring this up to help talk about what is God's design for our relationships. Sex is God's design in marriage. And there's some principles and some foundations that we can lay for how to live godly relationships.
And it actually says that in 1 Timothy 4:12.
It does. Word on the street for this month. What does it say?
Do you know the 5?
I do.
In speech, conduct, love, faith, purity.
There they are.
Boom, those are the 5 things that we're gonna be talking about in these next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, I know you think Rhythm Night is just monthly, which it is, but every week after Rhythm Night, we're gonna be talking and going a little deeper. So you're gonna wanna make sure you go to eGroup and get this info.
Yes, so we're really excited because today we're gonna get to hear from one of our favorites, Pastor Micahn Carter, and his son, Meeks. And they're gonna talk through how do we set some healthy boundaries and how do we really follow and pursue a life of purity in the context of God's design. Not because God is looking down on us, trying to make us just do things His way, but He set a basis for what's the best for our lives for us because He cares and He loves us.
That's right. So lean in, take some notes, and get ready. Don't let your leader do all the work during eGroup time, okay?
It's not cool.
Let's go! Boom!
How's you and your girl, man?
It's going really good. It's been, I mean, we haven't seen each other in a while, so that sucks.
Yeah, the whole long distance thing.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but it's good. It's healthy. It helps us build character for ourselves, and hopefully she's developing.
You got a little bit better now with long distance because, like, when I dated Mom and I was in Seattle and she was in Yakima, I had to, like, call collect or, like, had to pay to talk to her. And you got FaceTime, man, so you can, like, yo, girl, what's up? Let me just see you on the other end.
Yeah, that's cool, but it's awkward with roommates, so I kind of have to, like, finesse and go in your
Or if you got to get up and use restroom, that's not.
Yeah, like, how do you do that? Like, oh, hold up.
Hold up real quick,
Let me put you on mute real quick.
Yeah, well, you know, the truth is, in relationships, I know they're always tricky, always difficult. There's challenges. There's definitely similar challenges that me and Mom had, and there's probably different challenges that you guys have, obviously, because culture is shifting. But obviously, I got to do my job to be pops and navigate and guide and help you think through some of the decisions, and hopefully you can make better decisions than me and Mommy, because, you know, obviously there are some things like, you know, boundaries, purity, all that kind of stuff that we got to think through. So we got to talk about that stuff.
Let's talk about it.
So let's talk about this whole sex thing and how it affects and how that's going to look like. You know, me and Mommy's story, just the whole concept of we didn't wait, and my whole background is filled with all kinds of sex with all different kinds of people from the time I was going in to be a freshman in high school. And so I felt the pressure. I knew the pressure. I also know that you've bumped your head along the way when it comes to this reality of sex and being able to speak to it, like, how do you navigate now in this new relationship to ensure, or how does the culture even help you live a pure life or not, in the context of now you're trying to do this for real and you live in an era where stuff's thrown at you all the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's difficult because you have Instagram and movies and music, and all you see is naked fitness girls, and it's glorified. Like, you see guys with a bunch of girls and you think it's something you should do because it's what's dope to everyone else. And I think for me, I had to go through that season where I had to get off all social media and remove myself from that because it was damaging for me. And it may not have been, I mean, someone else could have handled it, but I couldn't because I wanted sex. And so I think if you want to win, you have to really discipline yourself and be okay with not being involved with everything, and understand that if you want to be pure, if you want to stand for it, then stand for it.
Okay, so take me back. Your 5th grade, 6th grade. I know that sometimes we've talked about that there was this pressure of you want to do the right things. You actually feel like Jesus is the center of your everything. And then somewhere along the way, junior high, you get introduced to pornography.
Yep.
And so take me in that cycle of, okay, I'm trying to live for God and I'm raised in the church and I know what's right, but now there's this pull.
Yeah.
So step me through that. What's being thrown at your face? How are you trying to navigate in that world?
Yeah, so I got first time exposed to pornography was 5th grade actually, with the PSP, which is dope, way before its time.
PSP.
Yeah, super sick. But this kid showed me, I was like, all right, like that's weird, like whatever. And then once I got into middle school, I was still like, I'm staying pure, I'm taking a stand for God, I'm not doing what everyone else does. And I got made fun of like so much for it, and I would go home and cry all the time because I'm just like, God, you said I can have this dope life and this fun life, but I'm getting made fun of for it. And then I remember reading a verse, I think it was 6th grade, Luke 6:21, it talks about, don't grow worried when people hate you, mock you, exclude you, curse you as evil because you follow Jesus. When this happens, leap for joy. And I was like, okay, like I guess this is worth it. And then I remember 7th grade, I remember sitting at a lunch table with my friends, and there was this girl who was in 8th grade who everyone thought she was the hottest girl ever, which, I mean,
she's pretty.
She was pretty. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we're sitting there, and she looks me in the eyes, which is intimidating as a 7th grader when a girl looks at you. And she says...
Did she like lock on? Did she
yeah, well, she like took a sip of chocolate milk first, and then she looked at me and she goes, it's my birthday tomorrow, will you have sex with me?
Wow.
I'm like, wow. How do I respond to this with the hot girl and all my friends showing there? But I read that verse and I felt like, this is what I need to do. And it's not right. It's not who I am. And immediately I told her, it's not who you are. And no, I'm not. And everyone made fun of me at the table. And so I went home and just cried. Because I'm like, I'm trying to live pure and live right and do all these things. Because I want God's best for my life, but everyone didn't understand. And so I got excluded and made fun of, just like the verse said, is what I hated. I hate being lonely. I hate being made fun of. And that was my reality every day at school. So 8th grade comes, and I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore, like, whatever. So I start, picking on kids and...
Which is technically not who you are. You've never been someone like, you're anti-bullying. You hate when people bully people, but now the pressure,
the feeling of being left out or not noticed or being a nobody gets to your head, and you feel like, well, I need to be a part of this because I'm missing out. And you feel like you're missing out on everything. And so I would join, and then...
What does that do? Okay, so you join in. Obviously, I'm on the other end, so I've seen this process in your life. But like, there's a tendency that people think like, if I do it, then the feeling will go away, but it actually like sucks you further in. Like, it's like, I'll look, then I won't need to look again. I'll do that, I won't need to do it again. And you think you're gonna just get it out of your system, but it ends up like almost like taking over to where now you're no longer in control.
It's you think you'll feel like you're a part of something, you feel satisfied, and you do in the moment. And as soon as it's done, or you're high, or you're whatever, and you feel immediate shame, immediate, what the heck did I just do? This isn't right. But then you feel like it's good, so you're stuck in this battle between, should I keep going or do I stop? And then you're just stuck because now you feel like, I don't know what to do because I like it. And I'm supposed to, like, I like girls and I like, sex is good. Like, sex was made for me. So I'm like, how do I do that? And then I think part of it was I was too afraid to talk about it because I'm a pastor's kid and no one knew. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be looking at this, but I didn't know how to bring that up.
Because the shame makes you want to hide.
Because the shame makes you want to hide. It makes you want to, just cover up and isolate yourself from everything else because you're embarrassed.
Okay, so you're 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade.
Yeah.
You're wrestling through all these seasons, you're probably feeling like one day, okay, I want to do the right thing, and you do the right thing.
Yeah, it would be, I would do the right thing, and immediately they would make fun of me, or immediately they would, or I would get a DM, or wake up to a nude picture, or wake up to just anything. Like, and so I knew it was wrong, and then I would delete that person, and then I'd be like, but I liked it. And so it's like,
right, tug of war.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna master it, but it ends up mastering you.
If I just taper it, like if I just don't do it as much, then it's cool. Like it's fine. But then you're still stuck.
Okay, so you're in a web.
Yeah.
Because obviously this isn't the way you want to live, but you're in a web. It gets to a point where it's out of control. You never had a girlfriend. I never let you have a girlfriend. I was like, you can't have a girlfriend. You can't drive. You ain't got no job. If you can't pay for the food.
Yeah, when I got in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I remember that. It was awful.
So you weren't allowed to have a girlfriend because we said you just aren't mature enough to really handle it and to contain it, right? Yeah. And so you spin out of control, and there's a season of your life where it's very difficult, where you just basically go all in.
Yeah, I felt like I'm a failure. I'll never be good enough. I'm disgusting. I'm disqualified. God can't use me. And so they always talk about being hot or cold, so I'm like, I'm just gonna go.
Just be cold.
Just be cold. And I didn't care. I didn't care about church, didn't care about family, friends, God. I just was living for me because I felt like I tried God and it didn't work.
Right.
And it got deeper, and then I got caught, and I didn't get caught, but I had sex, and then stuff came out, and then I just felt disgusting.
Right.
And embarrassed, and like, I'm a failure, the whole church is gonna kick me out, and whatever, and all this stuff. But yeah, you just get stuck in a cycle because you feel so embarrassed and ashamed, but you feel like, how do I even talk about this?
Right.
When everyone else is saying it's good, and everything around me saying it's okay, but I know it's wrong, how do I bring this up and not feel like I'm less than?
Right. And then we had a moment after that whole ordeal where I talked to you about how there's definitely, obviously you're feeling all those emotions, and we had a moment where we're in the living room, and I tell you, who are you? And you begin to utter, I'm a liar, I'm this, I'm that, I'm fake, I'm phony, I'm this, and you list a whole bunch of things. And in that moment, I hadn't talked to you in like a couple days because I'm trying to
about a week.
Process, what am I gonna say? Because I'm devastated because I know that's my past and I didn't want that to be your future. And after you say all that thing, I was able to look at you and affirm you and say, but you're not that. You are called, you are chosen, you are forgiven, you are worth it, you are honest, you are honorable. And we kind of had that moment, but the truth is not everyone has a dad in their life that's going to be able to pick them up when they fall down. And God is saying that, and God would be speaking that over them even in that moment. Like,
yeah, I think that's why it's so beneficial to get connected with a leader or even a friend, like find someone who's trying to pursue the same thing as you and chase God like you, and talk about it. Like it's in the Bible. Like, talk about it. Yeah. I think it's just been a thing to where people have tried to jump over it or not speak to it. Like, make you feel bad that you want to have sex, or make you feel bad that you like girls or attracted to them. Like, no, like, you're supposed to have that. Let's talk about this and figure out how I can navigate and control this in this time when everyone says it's okay, but I know I'm trying to live this godly life.
Right.
And I think that's, if a lot of people don't have you or to speak to them, and I think that's why it's important to be connected in your youth ministry with leaders or pastors or someone who can affirm you, guide you, and help you.
Absolutely. Okay, so here we are. You bumped your head. You've come out of that. Obviously, you're in a relationship and you want to honor God.
Yep.
How do you do that? Because you've already seen, you've already touched it, you've already experienced it.
Yeah.
How do you now go, okay, if I'm going to do this God's way, and obviously there's a benefit to it because, some of the cycle and the downward spiral is a byproduct of the sin and the shame. So you get the sin, so you experience shame. So it's like the enemy whispers, you're not good enough, you're not going to amount anything. So then you just throw in the towel. And it's not like God left. It's almost like you just are so defeated that you don't even know how to get back up.
Yeah.
But now you're up, and now you're in this position where the feelings of wanting and desiring sex haven't went out the window. They're still there.
They're definitely still there.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're still there. And now you're getting closer to marriage than ever. So now it's like the window of opportunity. It's like, man, I'm right there. Like, people could be going, well, I'm already, like, you know how people say, like, well, we're going to get married anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what's keeping you, or how are you managing that to try to honor God, knowing that, like, you've been given a second chance to do the right thing?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think the first thing you have to do is have that conversation and talk about it with the girl. And
so you had it. What'd you say?
I said, this is what we're living by. I'm honoring you, I'm honoring your family, I'm honoring God, and I'm honoring myself. And we said, you set up boundaries and just have an open conversation and include people in on it. Parents and...
Yeah, so we have those conversations. Yeah. Like, hey, what are you doing,
What are you doing? Where are you hanging out? Just have certain times, and it's almost overprotect yourself.
But you're an adult. Why would you need to do that? You're a grown-up now. Why would you need to, like, you're 19, you're at college. Why would you need to have boundaries now?
Well, because it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
And I need you. You're there, and we're dating, so it's cool. Like, it is what it is. But, like, you're human. Like, you're supposed to feel that. You're gonna feel.
So
no matter
what
where
you're saying is you need a plan before the game.
Plan before the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to discipline yourself and understand that less is really more. This great pastor, he wrote this book called Greater. You probably know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pastor Steven, in the book, he says God is more concerned with our full obedience than our full understanding. And that's how I want to live my life. I want to fully obey instead of fully understand. And I think God is so good and God is so great, so where he wants the best for me, so I'm going to trust that and understand that in the end, I'm going to have a great marriage and we're going to enjoy sex, and it's going to be intimate and something that it was created to be, and not out of lust or out of just myself, but it's something that God created from the beginning that is supposed to have with my spouse.
I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah.
I think you're going to make it and keep doing the right thing, man. God's going to honor it. Bro,
What?
how have you never told me about that 8th grade girl?
About that? Okay, how do you bring that up? It's like, hey, just want to let you know, back in 7th grade, this girl asked me to have sex with her.
I just want to know who her parents are. 8th grade. I just want to know one thing. Kiki, do you love me? Are we riding?
Yeah, it's Phil.
Hey.
You know who we need to get to do that is Mom.
Mom.
She has to do it.
Get in the car, boy. Got places to go.